I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. Hi, this is Danny, and welcome to this video where I'm going to teach you how to play Raise a Hallelujah by Bethel Music and Jonathan and Melissa Helser. So this is a great song, and it's in the key of D flat, and so we're going to look at that and how to play the chords in just a moment. But just before we do that, real quick, I just want to let you know that if you want to take your piano playing in worship to an amazing level wherever you're at, then check out the link in my book. Then check out the link in the description just below this video where you can find my book, which is called Basic to Amazing Worship Piano, and that's exactly what it'll give you. Amazing sounding worship piano, and I talk about basically everything that I've learned over years and years and years of playing piano in worship. So I'll talk more about that at the end, and again, that's just in the description below this video. You can check that out. There's a link for it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this song. The original recording of Raise a Hallelujah is in the key of D flat. So that's what I'm going to do it in for this video. And if you're playing it in a different key, I'll tell you about the numbers for the chords. And it's pretty easy. There's only 4 chords in the whole song. So if you know what the numbers are, then you can transpose it and you can use these voicings, hopefully, easily enough to transpose it to your key. But I'll play it in D flat, which is also my favorite key, actually. So... yeah, so let's look at that. We'll start with the key and the scale, and then we'll go to the chords. In the key of D flat, we have 5 flats, and those are going to be B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. And those are all the black keys that we're basically going to be using. But let's go ahead and look at the scale. I'll play through it, and I'll tell you the notes and the interval numbers once, and then I'll just play through it for you with no talking. So let's go through that. So first we have D flat, which is 1, E flat is 2, F is 3, G flat is 4, A flat is 5, B flat is 6, C 7, and then we're back to 1, which is D flat. Alright, so there we go. There are the notes and the interval numbers with those. Now let me just play through it for you. If you need help with the fingering, then just feel free to rewind it as much as you need to and look at the hands individually. But here we go, and I'd encourage you to just go ahead and play it right along with me. Okay, so there is our scale and our key that we're in to get you oriented with it. If you're playing it in this key, then make sure that you play this scale plenty of times because we have a lot of flats that we're working with here. So make sure that you play through that a lot of times before you try going through the chords and practicing other stuff. Okay, now with that being said, let's just go ahead and look at the chords. In this song, we only have 4 chords, which is kind of nice. I'm just going to show you how to play those, and I'll just start from the 1 chord, which is D flat, and then up through the scale. So here we go. Let's look at the 1, D flat major chord. So on my keyboard, this is middle C. So what we're going to do for the left hand is we're going to come down here to this D flat. And for the D flat chord, what we're going to play is this: D flat, A flat, D flat. Those three notes. For the right hand, we have a couple options. The first one is to play this right here. D flat, F natural, A flat. So that's our first one. And altogether that looks and sounds like this. The other one, if you want to put another note in there, make it sound more full, which I often like to do this, is to do these same notes, but to switch up your fingering a little bit. So you're playing D flat with your pointer finger, F with your ring finger, like that, and then put the A flat again on the bottom down here. So it looks like this. Those four notes with the right hand. And then just play the same thing with the left hand. That also sounds great. I like both of those. Just this with the right hand or this. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so the next chord that we're going to look at is going to be the 4, which is the G flat major chord. So for the left hand, we're going to come up here and we're going to play this G flat, D flat, G flat. Those three notes. And then with the right hand, again, we have a couple different options depending on what you're going for. So the first one is you can play the same thing as for the D flat. So that would be D flat, F, A flat. So those three. Altogether, that looks and sounds like this. All right, and the other one is kind of similar to before. You can play these notes like that, and then put your thumb on the B flat. That also sounds really good for this chord. I think it sounds really beautiful. So that's your other option. Okay, now the next chord we'll look at is A flat, which is the 5 chord in the key of D flat. So for that A flat chord, we're going to bring our left hand right up here, and we're going to play A flat, E flat, A flat. So those three notes. And for the right hand, what we're going to do is we're going to put our thumb down here on middle C, and we're going to play C, E flat, A flat. So altogether that looks and sounds like this. And what sounds really good on this chord, especially depending on what the singer, or you, if you're singing, what the singer is doing. So one thing you can do that sounds really good is to take the thumb and put it back on D flat, keeping the other notes the same. So you can switch between. If you do this, it's going to be an A flat suspended chord. So you can hear the difference there, I'm sure. So I would suggest going back and forth on that, just depending on what you like, what sounds good with what the vocalist is singing. All right, and then the next and final chord is going to be B flat minor, which is the 6th chord in D flat. So for B flat minor, what we're going to do for the left hand is this. We're going to play B flat, F, A flat, like that. All right, and then for the right hand, what we're going to play is D flat, F, A flat. So altogether, that looks and sounds like this. All right, and there you go. Those are all the chords for Raise a Hallelujah. And it's pretty simple. There's only 4 of them, so just practice those really well. And then I'm just going to give you a quick rhythm tip if you need help with that. And so for the rhythm, what I generally do as a rule of thumb is I play all the notes together, right hand and then left hand. So let me show you how that works. And I'll use the chorus chords. So the chorus starts on the G flat chord. So what we do, if we're singing, I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. So when we do that, for that G flat, what we're going to do is we're going to play all 6 notes together if you play the right hand like this. Otherwise, it would be 7, of course, if you're doing that. But anyway, I'll just do it with 3 notes in the right hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to play all 6 notes at the same time. And then after you play that, right after you do that, what I like to do is play something with the right hand, whether that's just the chord in rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4, or messing around with the chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I made a little mistake there. Hit a sour note. But anyway, so you can do that, or you can do some runs and some riffs. You could do stuff like that if you want, whatever you want to do. So after you play all the notes together and then you do some right hand work like that, then what you're going to want to do normally before you jump to the next chord is play the notes again with your left hand. Arpeggiate them, which means play them separately from the bottom and up. So it's going to be. So that's how that goes. So we have all together, right hand, left hand. All together, right hand, left hand. So that's going to be how that goes. Unless you're on a chord for a really short time, then you're going to want to do all of those 3 things. And if you're on a chord for just a shorter, quicker time, then you can take out that end left hand part, and you can just play together and right hand, or only all the notes together. Just use your own good taste for it. But that is what I recommend. So then, if we take that, I'll just play through the chorus a little bit. You can kind of watch how this works. I'll just play through the chords and slowly, and just see if you can notice that pattern that I do. All together, right hand, left hand. So there you go. That's kind of how that looks, how that works out, in real time. And there you go. That's how you play Raise a Hallelujah by Bethel Music and Jonathan David and Melissa Helser. It's a great song, and I really hope this tutorial helped you out a lot. So before we go, real quick, I just want to talk a little bit more about my book, which is again called Basic to Amazing Worship Piano, and that's exactly what it'll give you, is awesome sounding worship piano. So real quickly, I just want to talk about what's in there. There are 3 keys in this book to help your playing reach an amazing level wherever you're at. And what they are is, the first one is all about the left hand. So it's about what you can and should play with the left hand, what sounds really good, what sounds not so good, and like where you should go and maybe stay away from. And then the second key is about the right hand. So how you should think about the right hand, and where, like, in my opinion, where you should think about keeping it, and what to do with it, how that works together with the left hand, and that kind of stuff. And then the third key, which is definitely my favorite, is all about improv. And so I give you an awesome sounding system for improv, and it's based on the major scale. It's really not that hard at all. If you like the stuff that I was doing, like in the beginning of this video, after I got done singing, when I was just playing through the chords and stuff, then I am using just straight up my system right there for improv. And it's just an awesome hack that just comes from the major scale, and it's just really great. And I'm sure that you'll be able to understand it and get it, and catch on if you get to check that out. So I hope that if you get the book, then it really blesses you greatly. And there's also a 100% money back guarantee if for some reason you're not satisfied with it, which I'm sure that you will be. But if you're not, then there is that as well. So it's totally safe. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it helps you out, and that you have a great time practicing this song, but even more importantly, worshiping God. So have a great day, and God bless.